Salvete. I'm Dwane Thomas from visuallatin.com with some student questions I'm going to answer for you on this video. Mr. Thomas, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob. Well, what does that have to do with Latin? Mr. Thomas, Coke or Pepsi? Neither. I don't drink that stuff. Mr. Thomas, when I finish your course, will I be able to speak Latin? There's a good question. The answer may surprise you. No, you won't. I'm not going to lie to you. When you finish this course, you will know the grammar. You will know it very well. Visual Latin teaches the grammar of Latin in a lighthearted and a humorous, hopefully enjoyable way. Usually it's taught through books or long classes where you sit and listen to a teacher drone on and on, or read from a rather thick, small print, boring book, and you fight hard to stay awake. I'm trying to teach you the grammar in an interesting and enjoyable way without putting you to sleep. Now, if you really want to learn to speak the language fluently, I've got some bad news for you. No program out there gives you enough content to do that. Visual Latin, my program, is about contains about 25 or 30 hours of content. That's actually quite a lot. That's as much as or more than Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone, each level contains about 24 hours of content. Pimsleur contains about 15 hours of content. These are good courses. You can use them if you want to learn a language. But none of them, mine included, do not teach you or do not give you enough hours in the language to actually learn a language. And anybody who says that you're going to be fluent after a 30-hour course is selling you something. You're not going to be fluent. I'm not going to lie to you. What you need to do to become fluent in the language is spend a lot of extra time on your own in the language. You need to spend about 1,000 hours in any language to become proficient. And these are rough estimates, but you need to spend about 1,000 hours in any language to become proficient. That's 3 hours a day for a year. To become to become fluent like a native, you will need to spend roughly 10,000 hours in the language. That's 3 hours a day for 7 years. That's a lot of time. Of course, if you get up early and you're driven and you want it that bad, you can spend 3 hours a day for 7 years in a language, and by the end of it, you'll be fluent. But you're going to have to do that if you want to become fluent in the language. When you finish Visual Latin, you're not going to be there. What you will have is an understanding of the grammar that will speed the process up. A lot of people will tell you too in courses that this is not a boring grammar course. We only teach you how to speak. Well, guess what, guys? I hate to break it to you, but you got to learn the grammar if you're going to learn a language. At some point, you got to face that monster. So with Visual Latin, we've tried to take the monster and make it a little more easy to deal with. Slightly humorous, throw in some bad jokes from now and then, from time to time. Make mistakes, don't go back and fix them, that's okay. We've tried to make it enjoyable, not grammar mistakes, hopefully mistakes when I'm speaking. We've tried to make the process enjoyable, upbeat, happier, a more cheerful, enjoyable process, rather than a tedious and a slow process. What we want to do is put grammar into your hands so that once you have that, you can then tackle the language, and all you need to add are words, words, words. And you're only going to add that through reading and listening. Since Latin is not a spoken language, there's nowhere you can go to speak it. You're going to have to add it through books, audio, and books that you read.